dropped on that rotation so far. We're still at 49 left, and this is kind of the proliferation of those heals. You see more people carrying heals, carrying shields. It allows you to take chip. If you get chipped on a rotation, no longer out. Good wall replace there from Shaw, and Nira getting into Noisy's box. Can they get the wall again as he gets to take it back? Does get it. Can they get the stairs in? And they do. Noisy and Arctic Dangerous going down. Well done from the EVD duo.
Even with all this mobility, these guys now know the meta. It's week 10. Everyone's already caught up. You have to be able to go for these elims when you have the tools, when you have the pressure, and that ping advantage as well. Shaw on full HP, Nirwa at full HP as well. Both sitting on a few elims for each other on pops. 25 people left alive. That Storm Surge is going to start ticking as well, as we haven't gone down to that 30 threshold just yet. A lot of action on low ground. Ball is still available to a lot of people as well.
And no, one thing you do talk about that ping advantage, it certainly does not hurt to have the better internet going in there. But shout out to SEE in the Vietnamese team being the first one coming through there and putting on a show last night. And I think it's actually something that's a little bit more mitigated when it comes to duos because of the strategies that end up going through, where you'll have one person forcing the wall, the other person trying to replace, or the other person isn't actually trying to get the wall right there, but they're trying to get the stair in first so then they can get the wall there. And you get to start playing games like the double combat, looking for the player in the sky there with the shadow bomb. As you see, their Storm Surge is active. We'll need to go to 30 players, and they got the knock onto Haibuzin courtesy of the storm right before taking to the sky.
Looks like these guys are at the very highest point of this rift as well. They get to make the final decision onto where to land. No pressure from them at all as you look over. Not that much going on in the ground to protect height as it's getting shot out by Rapti. No elims coming out just yet. Everyone playing very, very safe and tunneling very well at the moment. Crew just gets powdered down once again. Scribbly Doggy now looking for any other shots down below his mid-ground tar player. That's an option a lot of mid-ground bases have. They can look down anywhere in their box, just protect the top and look for any squeeze eliminations on the bottom side of the map.
And we're going back on this rotation so you can see how Scribby and his teammate just immediately turn backwards and start editing through their tunnel. Now they can just slowly edit backwards and fire shots. Stink goes out, they spray shots towards it, but it is actually the Noof who gets that knock. Kilgore does go down as well. The Noof and Clinton had previously qualified, but are doing their best in here. You see Violinen in the top left as we get closer and closer to the placement threshold. Kazuna and Scribby, good job cycling out right now. The Noof does end up going down, as well as a Supremacy Attack, who was in that top 10. However, they need to be cautious of their maps, starting to get a little lower, and a lot of tunnels going on around here.
Yes, and it's actually amazing what these guys are doing right now. They're waiting and tunneling as much as possible, not peeking too hard, then waiting for utility to get used. Any rifts, you go for those big shots in the air. Nesting going down now from the lower tar player. Once again, they're waiting for people to stop and make mistakes and capitalizing on everything as they did on the Stinks before as well.
That was a huge swing, puts them up to 7 eliminations and into the top 15. That was a 5-point bonus right there for this duo, and into 30 points, up into the conversation. You can see Shaw then gets the knock on the waist as everyone gets sent down on ultimate high as Nura is trying to work upwards and get some form of connection. He has the next lowest start, and he's just going to drop down and say, whatever, here's all those heals and the utility we talk about as we close in on the next placement threshold. 11 duos left, 14 players, so a lot of solo riders, 8 of them hanging out, while only the 3 full duos.
No challenges coming on from height either, which allows Shaw to get these easy pressure picks with this gold scar. These guys making sure their rotations are perfect. Lol Bloom now going down. When you have this time, when you have the Pro-Am weekend to prepare your loadout, your loot path, you get these big loadouts that are gold, all the heals you need. Another knock coming in from Nirwa. They're just tearing on this high ground at the moment.
They're doing brilliant, making sure they're getting good angles, but some shots going up, finally gonna force them. And that's one thing we've talked about. Uncontested high ground is great until somebody from the low ground decides to take notice of you. You are the only one raining down the shots. However, cover yourself up and just reset. You'll get that advantage back. As you can see, Nura and Shaw doing a brilliant job of this, but look at the chaos on the low ground. Right now, you have Nura in your top right, Scrib Doggy in your bottom right, the rest of the action on the left side as Nali gets taken down by Kazuna, and we have our top 5, so it's all about the elims and the victory route as Violinen finds Fixie right after he gets Papsy. 3 duos left, drop down ends up coming through. Scrib Doggy will he find it, but instead Nura comes in late to the party, cleans up 1, cleans up 2, and that is it. Shaw and Nura take home the victory royale, 10 eliminations, 44 points, putting them in contention again. We're into the final hour of Europe. We are right there. These are the matches that decide those last spots. 4 are up for grabs, Shy. That's it, 4 left.
It's all around the world, man. Low, mid, and height, everything getting contested. Juice to milk for eliminations on every single layer. And Shaw and Nirwa just played it perfectly there. We see the chaos of all these builds, all these layer switches, people just trying to survive. It is the last week as well. Everyone's just trying out their honed strategies over these 9 weeks of preparation. They've had solos and duos. A lot of people splitting up, playing with new duos as well. We've seen that a lot in NA East, as well in EU.
Ghost is a Ghost Camo, nice.
Isa and Camo on the low ground.
Yep, and you can see that controller duo trying to represent and do everything they can. Isa having already qualified for the solos, Camo trying to find his way to New York City. Can they make it? And this is actually one of the thinnest end games we've seen so far, with 39 players left, still 22 duos, so a little more action going on the mid game. As you can see, Representative Isa and Camo's 8 elims right now. Super impressive, and there you go. Finally now into that last hour. Third time was the charm, 56 minutes remaining. And again, if you are just joining us and it's one of your first weekends watching, it is 3 hours or 10 matches. The semifinals were played yesterday, and the qualifying spots are in the top right. We have already seen the BES duo advance out of Oceania and the Trigger QQ duo from Vietnam take home the spot out of Asia. Which 4 will join them in Europe? And who do you got your eyes on, Shaq?
For me, at the moment, I think that Shaw is playing amazingly right now. I also think that there's going to be a lot of chances for Camo and Issa to pop off as well. They've been up and down in the leaderboards at the moment, but as we can see over here, these high elim games, if you get 1 or 2 pop-offs, you're right back into the running. There is only an hour left, but everyone's already experienced in playing their 10 games, knowing that, hey, if we're behind 2 or 3 games, we can play a little bit aggro here and then catch up with those big placement types of games later on. So hopefully these guys and their game plans work out. We'll see what's up right now. A little bit of a sneaky game coming in, a 4-gun loadout, which we don't see too much from Issa, with combats, ARs, drum guns, a very AR-heavy medium ammo loadout. Low people as well on mid at the moment. A lot of calmness when there's not too many people in the server. You have these stalemate moments where a lot of people get to have a lot of information. Now this is good for 2 reasons. One, the people who are boxing up know a lot of things about
Ghost Camo, Ghost Isa, schau mal zu.
But the bad part about it is that if everyone has information on everyone, there's so many more sightlines that get abused and used for eliminations left and right around the whole map.
Yeah, it's much harder to manufacture eliminations in this circumstance because everyone is used to playing. And it's kind of nuts that we've gotten to the point in Fortnite where 39 people in a 5th circle is like, oh yeah, you know, that's not that dense. You know, it's fine. You got some room to move around and work with. But like, normally the reason people say play for late is because when you get so chaotic, if you are deliberate and you're able to get your rotation down, you will get opportunities to pick off other players. And you can see there just how aggressive these guys have been. 1,102 damage above the Storm Surge threshold. Again, that will turn off once we get down to below 30 players. As you see the launchpad come out, no bombs there. Thought about challenging for height instead. Wechsel doch zu Isa, Digga. The zone and box up and turn.
Camo now missing his partner actually. They finally get together once again. He's going to be boxing up, waiting for any elims to happen. These guys have 8 elims together in total. Heavy Snipe coming into onto the box as well in front of him. No follow-up though. As it's not possible split layers. Although that's very good for sightlines and different vantage points. Sometimes the synchronization can get desynchronized when you're not together with your duo partner.
Stay with your buddy. Particularly, it's week 10. Come on. Like, how many times, like, unless your name is Mongrel, like, trying to just 1v2 the rest of the lobby generally hasn't worked out for a lot of players. And right now, Isa and Camo recognizing that, getting back together, still on 8 elims, and now they're going to try and kind of level out the loadout. Interesting to see him dropping the heavy sniper in favor of still running the double AR, but I'm Trash living up to his name there as Isa just blasts him with the combat shot. Can't poke there, can't challenge against one of the best players out of Europe. Gets the conversion over, and we're closing in on that top 15.
Very, very smooth build over there, right back up to his partner, but no, these guys are split now. Isa going on for one going. Camo getting a nice low tier or low ground lockdown on his enemy. Max going down on 60 hertz. You gotta up those hertz, but you gotta see these people coming. Camo moving around. Isa popping off on his lair as well. These guys are owning the whole server, making sure everything's getting shredded down on numbers.
Isa going down as well.
The finish is coming out. These guys have collectively done so much damage. Drop-offs. It's chaos. Mods going down. What's happening over here, Sunday?
15 elims now. He just ran up to 15 elims. And notice how he's constantly checking his 16. Zaito goes down as well. Who says you need a teammate? He says Mongrel. Who? My name is Ghost. He says I'm here to make a play. Camo's in a box. What's in a box? It's the Ghost.
duo. They want to make it to New York City. They want to go together. One isn't enough as we're closing in on the top 10. 38 points so far, 17 elims. They're already on 22 points just from this match, but
haben sie Isa und Camo qualifiziert.
Stop yet. There's still chaos going on. Pushing forward. Jesse goes down, trapped his arm right next to him, and they're in the top 10. Isa picks up another one on the high ground. They're on 19 now. He needs to circle back around and find the zone, and he finally does. Narshni goes down, Delay goes down, Top Boy goes down, closing it on top 5, and he finds it. Jensen goes down as well. 6 up.
Oh, das ist doch nochmal witzig.
Working. They haven't taken any damage that's significant at all. Still both alive on separate. They're playing solos. Guys, you queued up for the wrong mode. What's going on? It's 9th circle, 8 people alive, both on separate layers. Still 3 stinks available for pressure, doing their own thing. Back to back intensive.
Da ist es, Baldon. Schau sein Leben.
Another sting going on height to help out his buddy.
Da.
Low HP. Camo. Finally, these guys are going to put in check. Isa taking stinks. 1 HP. He goes down. Can Camo clutch up? A mini coming up. The enemy pops in with a heavy sniper. Mark bringing down their big rain, but so many eliminations as we move on to the last 1v1. Alphen up with Mark going and bullying the last solo player left alive. Isa's big rain going down. Camo also going down as well. Alphen with a big combat shotgun pop shot. Intensive 8x finally going down as well. They secured the elim points. They secured the victory royale as well. But Camo and Isa, holy moly.
That was huge right there, but not to be understated. Alphen and Duo picking up 18 points right there, 8 elims, and the victory royale. Zeke, that was nuts.
Sundown, that was absolutely insane. I mean, first of all, it's so awesome to hear Shai's voice and hear how incredible he is at casting. Let's just...
A great first cast. That was
beautiful. First cast, especially in that game with Isa and Camo. Controller lords, you got to think with another pop-out performance like that,
yes,
they could be potentially contesting for a spot.
They could be the only full controller duo to qualify for a World Cup. It is the last chance for any of that to happen. So with games like that, Zeke, this is just the start of the day, by the way. This is the first block of games. We have way more Fortnite, but for now, let's hang out with Bala. I know you've pulled some clips for us to take a look at. Let's see what you got. Yeah, I can explain. I can explain some clips here of what happened into those games. Tickle. I mean, he's by himself, he's trying to clutch up, and everything was going wrong there. He ended up being placed underneath the stairs. His heavy snipe didn't get the wall. The turbo build came in, and then even here, getting the stairs placed, this duo was going to come out on top of him, but he's able to stay composed, get the elimination, and then another situation that was unexpected. Somebody lands right behind him, and he still managed to get away, even with low HP. And when we looked at the leaderboards, we saw all of these teams that were in this game. Here, Orc and Andalex on high ground. They use the chug splashes to recoup a little bit before, and Telek unfortunately gets a little antsy, jumps out, and that's gonna be the end because both Andalex and Orc are looking down on top of him. Here, Osmo goes on a tear with his teammate Milan, and I mean, some of the things that they did here, this was really interesting to me because you used to run out in the storm and just take the damage from the storm to get the loot, but in this case, he's using the chug splash to recover instantly, and then what a catch there from Osmo. We're gonna look at another team here, Provoked and Magic, who are so close to qualifying week after week, especially last week 8. Provoked actually goes down on a waterfall there as somebody makes its way there. This shot was disgusting. He didn't even actually get that elimination. He did a 112 to him to the...
Ich schau WM. Ich schaue live WM. Ich tue nicht selber spielen.
Back on to Imagine as Osmo finally, because he doesn't have his shotgun reloaded, ends up going down. Imagine with the good attempt after we saw Provoked end up going down from fall damage, takes out Risk while in the storm, and then makes another storm play.
Huh?
Close. He already had his crosshair on his face, but no. Jorge is going to take the win just barely by milliseconds here, Zeke. This was so close.
Wie lange geht das bis 10, oder?
The wire, man, this is just what Fortnite is, right? Like, everyone's going to give it their all. Everyone wants to qualify, and that's the kind of stuff we're seeing. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see how things are shaking out currently. I can't even read.
Savage is Zweiter.
I don't know.
Den Magisk.
I'm going to call him
Magisk. Great. And TTV, I'm the Beast. We know you. You've been hanging out here for a while. At the top still, though, 7 games remaining.
Yeah.
This is pretty substantial 3 victory royales right now, 100% win rate. Yeah. Wait, what?
That is ridiculous. I mean, 62 points. This might be flipped here. Games remaining versus matches played. Possibly Benji, Fishy, and Mr. Savage. We've seen them week after week, and people are starting to, you know, use that Fishy tag at the end of their name to get the good luck. But I mean, for Wolfies and Rojo were up here earlier. They've got 57 points now. They dropped down from 1st to 4th. Skite and Vato, who are just barely, I think they got 9th place twice in a row in the duos week. So that's one of the French-speaking duos that have not yet made it. We saw the Solary guys go through before, and then some of these other guys as well. Andalex and Orc, we saw their win. And Dreda, who had the crazy performance in week 9. You guys watched it. Just unbelievable. So it's shaping up. I mean, I'm already seeing Skite and Vato. I'm starting to get excited because they start to play better as time goes on. And we just have all but time right now. It's running down, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm ready to get back into these games. Bala, if you are as well, I think we're going to send it back over to Sundown and Shy. Gentlemen, back over to you and keep the action rolling.
Thank you so much, Zeke and Bala. All good, Shy, no worries. But I'm so excited, like you said. We saw so many of those guys up on that top board. It's so incredibly dense. 52 players in this lobby, 28 duos remaining, and again, the 4 final spots. We're coming down to it right now. That line, because the Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy duo have already qualified, would be 54 points. 51 was on the bottom. 3 points separating everyone. That's how tall you have to be to ride the ride. And Storm Surge is on again, Shy.
The pressure is active in EU, and we are in pressure plant as well. The lava's hot. These skins look hotter. The guns look very nice as well with that new camo that's out in the shop as well. A lot of edits going up and around. Once again, Geyser's up in play. A lot of free rotation, free shots being taken too. But a miss coming in from Speezy, very, very close to the opponent's head. Baller's getting shot down on Storm line.
Wurde Essen, was du hast 2 Runde versammelt, Alter.
Playing for pre-positioned advantage points and then milking those elims rather than getting them on the fly. The guys are being baited now. Can the beams come through? White HP on that opponent. His fly gets cut short. Jarkos going down now. Where's his dual partner? We don't know. His finish is going to be coming out now as these sweaty soccer skins, Alex and Speezy, are just going to be tearing up this low ground, making sure no one's allowed to be this tall for this EU ride to the northeast side of the map.
And you see them actually able to get into the mid-ground. Alex was the player from the winter round.
EDF oder keine wieder kleiner Show und daher Rana. Der war so
pretty good at Fortnite and through the open structure has now been in all of these end games, but Speezy now going to opt to tarp away. We'll see the conversion happen onto Alec and now has to make some tough decision in terms of loot. Is going to drop the heavy snipe in favor of taking the rift. Will opt to fix anything else up, and you can see now he's trying to go back through and just make sure he gets every possible little bit he can.
In these solo spots, when you have to face up against other duos, those spam weapons are always vital. That choice of keeping the drum gun and the AR even on low ammo. Speezy knows at some point is going to be a desperate motion on the low ground or mid ground in terms of making sure that spam is up on opponents' builds. So very smart decision there as we tune into the Fnatic boys. Motor and Vrox going to be looking at their own loot at the bottom here. Have a rift to go as well. Shadows available to get caught up after grabbing the rift, but Motor misses out on those. Not sure if that'll affect them later on. Once again, there are a lot of geysers and a lot of ways to trickle down from height to stay on top of rotation, but that might be a big hit to their loadout and overall play this game.
Yeah, I really hope Vrox grab those because honestly, Shadows are the most consistent in terms of the utility tool. Being able to rotate, you have either top down or down up. You're able to rotate and get high ground if necessary and just make really clutch plays in a pinch. As you see, a lot of other people rotating the good old-fashioned way. It's Fortnite, the battle is building, and everyone is targeting up beside the pressure plate and trying to do damage because that Storm Surge is still active. You can see Motor and Vrox about 9 points off that pace right now to be in the top 10, 12 points off qualification pace. What can they do to get themselves closer? There they are. There are the Shadows we saw earlier. Will he be able to grab them? Is that another misgrab coming out from Motor? And we talked about the clutch and the pressure being on. Now actually misses himself on one of the chug splashes too, but doesn't matter. Call him in action here as he slides down the side of the volcano and finds the Elim.
Very smart loot balance from those duos as well. Vrox goes down, but he did have a smart thinking while we let Motor play with those chug splashes. You know, it's easy to have a very efficient chuck splash in duos, but on rotation, it's very hard to hit you and your partner. So very smart decisions there. Motor has to be smarter now in a 1v2 situation, using all his mats, around 800 left now as people go down left and right. 26 people left alive, 18 duos, no placement yet. Once again, 7th zone, and a lot of pressure coming down on Motor. His shield getting knocked down, still has those chuck splashes to use on the move, making sure that zone damage is not a problem. Shields, not a problem, as he gets all the way back up to 100 HP. Once again, his early game was amazing. Get those guns out, but his life goes down as well to Bodijk.
And he misses the top 15, so no placement points there. Vato and Sky are going to be happy about that, as Vato is still in the lobby. You have Ibu High now with the combat and the flint still rolling around.
Ich kann aber keinen Ansehen von der Runde.
Was in the top 3, also picking it up there. And Proxima Star being the player who's been around forever, since like the original Summer Skirmish. So good to see his name back up there as Flavo picks up Wraithsguard, and we're closing in on the top 10. Buhai trying to find a decent amount of space there in the middle, but somebody is way up on Ultimate High as we're rotating around. Zeke gets blasted by Flavo in the back. Will the Elim come through? No, he's able to find the zone, but not able to pop it up, as now all of a sudden Old Man oh, 1-2 players up top. This is when you wish you had Shadow Bombs. Matsu and Ibu High on the mid ground. Ibu High gets that, but Proxima Star and his teammate just gets a rain down shots on the rest of the lobby. Ibu High trying to find some space to exist, but he's going to have to go back over now into the plant. There's only Ibu High in a 1v2, and that's not going to be enough. Fury Legend and Proxima Star going to close that one out. 6 elims and the victory round. That's how they were at 57 points. That's what got them up there, and hopefully they can keep on that pace to qualify.
They ended that game so fast, still had 9 impulses and 2 smoke grenades left at the end, but they decided to just give the lobby a whole haircut as we move in. Once again, the same zone. Geysers going up once again. A lot of launch pads can be saved on this 5th zone rotation. A lot of mats can just be saved as well when you're up in the air, not taking too many shots and facing up, going for these big vantage points as well. Benji Fishy now, the inspiration for a lot of duos in the EU region, getting their name switched for that good, sweet luck in terms of qualifying. He's getting
100 Damage weg, Digga.
Getting a little bit too close there, giving his fish hat a little bit of a haircut.
Schau mal, wie groß die Zone noch ist.
Heals being used on that as well could be a mistake that proves fatal at the end of the game.
And one thing I do like, though, is with how many more shields there have been in the games, is players are taking more risks. They're poking out more. They're looking for more trades. They're willing to go take fights, because it's like, hey, if we don't get everything here, it's not the end of the game. As Ricolas finds a great double snipe onto him, that's what we talk about. Always making sure you cover 2 layers. So what are they going to do? They're going to disengage down and over 1 layer and make sure they're boxed up. They are already very close to the safe zone, not quite in it, so we'll need to rotate just slightly over, but have the guys do it. I mean, this lobby's stacked. You see Crew, Nairo, Milan, Osmo, Chapik, Snoda, like,
we get in these last 4 games, and the games only get bigger with better players over and over. Aqua in here with Nyrox as well. We're going to be tuning into their super dope position up top.
Nyrox, yeah, this is ja dumm,
a lot of people rotating from mid ground. They're going to just have to rotate early, though. They're not in zone just yet, dropping just a few layers, but every layer you do drop, that's a box save on mats. So moving diagonally this way is very smart, but also risky, because you have a little bit less of protection from front. You just saw there Nyrox trying to get double snipe off of his position, but is dynamic in his box, saves that up. Utility now getting split from each duo, making sure each person has a nice exit plan in case that fire alarm sounds in their game and stuff hits the fan. Nyrox going to be looking out, up and around for any vantage points. 5th circle to 6th is that kind of stalemate time where you can look for picks. He gets a nice 33 damage shot on a duo moving down bottom. Aqua looking through his pyramid, looking for any information up on the map as well.
Yeah, and they're just trying to chill. They're just trying to hang out right now, doing everything they can to keep whatever amount of space and to get over on the far side of the zone right away. And that's one thing we've talked about a number of times. When these moving zones come in and you have utility, you want to pop it, get far side, box up, and then turn and see the rest of the lobby. Here's a prime example, and that's white damage. He's going to follow it up right away with the stink grenade. You don't get away from that. He's going to continue pouring down the pressure, and that is Blood X of the 11 going down on the side. Brilliantly done, but can they convert onto it? The Storm will move past it, so they want to go over and try and get whatever mats as well as that siphon on it.
Once again, EU is so good at just using their utility and following up with shots. Nyrox now going down, unfortunately, could not cover his head up top. Very still smart plays there, playing off of his thing, saving that last one until he had damage rather than just using it for an impact in the game. Always make sure you're milking the most out of the stuff you have in your inventory. Benji now still alive with Savage, looking for a reload while the wall goes down. Very unfortunate there. That small mag size of the infantry rifle proving to be fatal in terms of getting that elimination point. Benji and Savage now in the same box and caught up in a big community rift. Chapek's going down, getting knocked all the way, not sure in the rift or beforehand. That Elum
hat den aus der Luft mit dem Schussback geholt, obwohl behoben worden ist.
Starts moving and the storm goes over that down enemy.
So he actually got knocked because that was the shot.
Hey, wie geht es? Irgendwann das behoben war.
87 tick. The storm ended up then ticking him over and then getting it. That was that extension where it's a minute after you've damaged someone. But
we lebt der Domentos noch.
15, so 3 placement points going out to everyone. The Fishies getting those as well, so on 5 points so far from this match. And also still 2 shadow bombs with a lot of mats, so they're going to be able to play for late as Andretta gets picked up. So did get the top 3 points going there from top 15, but not anything more there. On the mid tarp, you see I'm the Beast and Magisk Pulse on the high ground.
Also ja mit ja DTV
already qualified just below. Anonymous 27 not to be confused with Anonymous 72. Just below Dementos here as he's tarping towards the side, trying to make it into the top 10.
A lot of mid-ground tarps coming out now. The zone will start moving in more awkward ways. A little bit of time for Dementos at the moment to see if he can put pressure down up top or down below. Putting vertical pressure upwards as a mid-ground tarper is very, very hard. This duo is down, but does have 6 eliminations. Pay over there. These guys are getting told. Looks like it's going to be 9 now, unless no, it was just a finish on Dementos. He's going to be going over on his tarp once again.
But it got him into the top 10, so it's fine that it wasn't his conversion because he still gets 2 points going there from knocking that team out right as the teammate went over. Now Dementos trying to find some room. So far they have gotten 13 points from this match, but they need to pick up the pace. The top duo was on 60 plus, being up 44. Needs every possible points as 27 picks up drops. Dementos still trying to tarp over, edits himself back in, finds an angle, but immediately gets cut off. Provoked finds the conversion onto 27, and Dementos is just gonna chill, popping that utility. And again, we've talked about so many more risks and time to get there. As now he's gonna drop down, start to contest 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shots. Can he find it? 4. Finally gets it after using 6 of the 10 combat shots there, but stops Provoked and gets it into the top 5. That could have end up being huge, but Pulse and I'm the Beast working top down right now. Look at the chaos with the low ground. Being picked up by Benji Fishy. And ADZ adds, closing him out there. Another player who has played in the skirmishes before. He's trying to find whatever space he can.
Dementos!
Adds there as now it's a 1v2. Dementos in the bottom right. I'm the Beast in the top right with his partner. And there for the high ground, Dementos goes. Launch pad straight up. Max Glide Height comes in. Can he build it away?
No.
Magic pops him off. No. Dementos tried to get back in the zone, but Magic Pulse brilliantly done, so well executed. And that is why they're on the top, sitting up there currently with the 62 points.
What a close match going right down to the wire. One more shot is all he needed there, but it was not possible to not connect. The duo does hold it down. Once again, this pattern, very, very smart solo play there, making sure he can pick up all the eliminations before the game ends, even though it's a 1v2 spot right here. Now we got Nauka and MXR, who are both chilling in their big base. Looks like Stormline as well, one of the best positions you can be in. Very, very nice loadout there for them as well. They've got their long-range beam, the follow-up with the drum as well, and that crucial combat shotgun, which did get nerfed a little bit on this match, but still the fire rate and that swap delay coming off allows you to make so many cool plays.
Das ist jetzt an einer der letzten Zonen und die haben einfach noch keine Platzierungspunkte gelegt. Und es lädt einfach noch die Hälfte.
Effort to catch up near the end of the game.
Yeah, and just one thing in terms of the combat shotgun change, I feel like it's kind of mitigated just because of the removal of the shotgun timer. It ends up allowing you to kind of do, a lot of people call it the TPU Classic, where you're ramping out and you're able to effectively target and shoot at the same time with very minimal exposure. And I think it sort of makes up for the slight change in the range in terms of the tiles and how much damage it does. So the combat's still being very, very strong in the current meta. But you can see MXR being able to push in, trying to find the conversion. Is some pressure from above and just goes for it. Gianni Jr. showing why he's not Gianni Sr. being taken down there outside the top 20. No placement points for you, and a lot of time wasted in that lobby.
Just a dope reaction there to look up and then look straight up or straight ahead of himself. MXR just carrying that fight right there. Juntos and Ryu now getting focused by the whole server. Very unfortunate when this happens. Stink's coming down as well, so that's going to be a very, very hard situation to get out of. Ryu now going down. Haiko getting his third elimination, putting him and Ono Kill together on the same, or on 4 eliminations there, making sure their points get counted up. 35 points total at in, and 4 more duos coming down. 35 people left alive, so that zone surge will also be an option as well.
Yeah, and that was a high value stink, and that's one thing you talk about. You know, it feels really unfortunate when you're getting focused by the whole server. But the reason you're getting focused by the whole server is because you're in an obvious 1x1 that was just rebuilt without priority on the next zone. If everyone is going to focus you, it's much easier to just pile in. You can hear the rift go off left, trying to hit it, trying to do everything he can. Will end up finding it there. Storm Surge is active as we have 18 duos left and 34 players, so pretty much everyone has a buddy with them.
And then, yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a stacked team-based endgame at the moment. A lot of 4-gun loadouts also coming in together right now. Dan Zizzle going down on Shadow Nades. A lot of multiple high ground tarps. A lot of them go down. Cazorla is going to be up top. 1 Shadow Nade left on Haiko at the moment. Andre going down from Cazorla's high ground pick. He gets finished off. Haiko gets that big reward off of it, the mats, the utility campfires as well for the end game. Pickaxe is coming full swing, making sure every wall is theirs before they set on the next move. Not quite in zone yet, but that tunnel will be very, very proficient. We're talking about those combat changes as well before. That also changes the range of engagement, as now we have more ARs. The style of the game and how it actually flows as more people are basing up to shoot rather than shooting on the fly. Is wieder in der Runde. Box fight changes the way people move around the map as well.
And it kind of has given a little bit of a resurgence, what we've seen so far, to the drum gun. It allows the drum gun to have a little bit more of that mid-range feel to it, to where it is going to out-prioritize the combat shotgun, whereas before the drum gun very much so got forced out in terms of effectiveness as we hit our top 15. So 3 points going over from everyone. Because why run a drum gun when you can have an FSA rifle and then the combat? But now there really is kind of a space that's between, like, it's closer to like 4 to 9 tiles where the drum gun just shreds. And even now you can see, boom, tack AR, turn about face, 2 elims right there for Johnny Boy and Cazorla. Brilliantly done. Once those will end up tick over, they do have the top 15 as well, as Dan Hizzle gets forced out of the lobby. Proxima Star also gets down and everyone gets pulled up into the sky. We're closing in. Boom, top 10 next placement threshold.
6 chunk splashes still left. We haven't seen them use to their full potential just yet in these end game storm heal-off scenarios. Proxima Star not going down, the high ground star of the last few games that we saw. A lot of wood builds. That these spam weapons are going to pack a wall as Johnny Boy gets another knockoff on Ibuhai. From the other game as well, these Rapscallions being sneaky, moving around in brick, metal, and wood. A lot of these big mats now finally coming out, making sure that spam gets stopped down, but more pressure vertically being put down as layer switches come down from their opponents as well. Johnny Boy getting that pickup, maybe not the elimination there, as Ono Kill also gets another one on top.
Yeah, and it was a really good try from Janus there to disengage, dropping back down, but unfortunately one spot of Team Queso lighting up the top left as Zohan was able to find 3 elims, make it a 4th. As the Spaniards are just dragging their way almost into the top 5, but now Cazorla doing everything he can on the side of the zone. Johnny Boy is still up as well. Great 130 shot, immediate replace, kind of upset. Right away, but he does.
Very legendary, Marco zugeschaut.
He's going to get taken out and outside of the top 5, so that's 2 points is leaving down there. 1 chug splash is tossed out there. As we're closing in.
Schau mal, wie hoch der Yaris ist, Alter.
Yaris has all the pressure on him now to get that last placement spot. He is low on HP, but it is kind of free for that. Once again, it goes through 4 duels left now.
MXR
still alive. His dual partner as well is going to be a big fight on the low ground, and 1 person permanently on the high ground. Low ground though, we do have almost 11 chunk splashes available as these boxes get bursted into. Ono Kill going down to MXR. Another quick Yayas going down. He tried to come off from high ground. Maybe he ran out of mats, but nothing. There, a 4-gun loadout. That heavy sniper still being available. Priority reload on it as well. 3 duos duos left. Looks like Nauka is down at the moment. MXR moving up on the highest.
6 MXR.
Right now, there might be someone higher than him actually at the moment. Heiko and Johnny Boy on the bottom as well with Kazorla.
Ja,
we'll see what they can do. MXR is going to be controlling this fight at the moment.
Heiko, der lebt da noch.
Chuck splashes coming down from Johnny Boy and Kazorla. They have so many to use amongst
Ich glaube, der MXR gewinnt, obwohl es noch Hard-Duo gibt.
Heiko going down. Johnny Boy and Kazorla are going to be fighting it out against each other as well. MXR is going to be pressured from the top. Johnny Boy goes down. Kazorla now has to avenge his dual partner and see what can be done here. Both people taking storm kicks. MXR coming down. But the heavy sniper is not enough as Kazorla wins that game out all the way, targeting in from that low ground position, making sure he pops off at the right moment, making the best decisions possible, clutching out that game for his dual partner.
It was all about the chug splashes. You called it early, but he went, he hung out on the low ground, and even though he got the siphon, the MXR was not able to close out the match just because he held zone, had the chug splashes, and had everything he needed. And that's something, again, a new mechanic. You can throw it, you can use it on your teammate, but because it's instantaneous HP, it changes what has now kind of been something that's been really solid in the meta for a long time. When you get to endgame, you know, hey, like if a person has a campfire plus bandages, I can do this. Or if I take one tick, I can get a med kit out. Or hey, if I get a siphon under 50 HP, like I'm guaranteed to close this match out. But it's just not enough. And now we're gonna throw it back into the studio to Zeke.
Thank you guys so much, man. European action just never disappoints.